All right. Hello, chick chatters. Technical issues over here. So,
Yeah.
upon technical issues, I swear I spent like the last hour trying to figure out my my technical issues. So,
Right. I only spent 15 minutes. So I'm not as far deep as Anne, probably not as frustrated either. But yeah, we're both having some issues today. So thank you for your patience and waiting for us. Hopefully nothing happens. But if it does, also thanks for your patience.
chess. Obviously, I look different. I'm on an iPad today. So,
Yes. And the
uh,
difficulties.
yeah, if that's part of the difficulties. So,
Yeah.
things may look a little strange. You see more of my head than usual. Um,
We love the
also,
ad.
yeah. So, but yeah, we're here. We're here to discuss Sister Wife. So,
Yes. So we'll
um,
get right into it. Although I do have a I guess general question right away for specifically this version of these tell-all one-on-ones, whatever the heck they're calling them these days. There's so many different names for them.
they love
But
it.
they're calling them one-on-ones this time. And Jen is there with Meri. That's not a one-on-one. David is there with Christine.
Two on.
That's not a one-on-one. And if that's the case, I've seen people online asking, why the hell do Christine and Meri get a support person? Why aren't Cody and Robin sitting together on the chair?
I was wondering that this episode because I'm like, yeah, I don't know why Cody and Robin don't do these together, but
I guess they would be saying like they're one-on-ones for each of the casts and you get a support person and Robin and Cody are cast, but I just think that that's ridiculous.
I mean, most likely. To me, I'm kind of like, well, if we did set Cody and Robin down next to each other, you know how many times that lady would be hitting him like, don't say that, don't say that. So
That's so true.
it's
Yeah.
probably
Cody
a
likes to get
blessing.
riled up and Robin would never allow it because she's too shy and pretty, but apparently that's mean girl behavior.
To me, it's a blessing. I think that they don't sit together. I mean, if they're gonna sit together, I think they might as well all sit together. You
I
know,
would love that. Suki would love it too.
that'd be the only reason for a next season is if we're gonna see them all sit down together and discuss. But
Facts.
I don't know.
Yeah, so we start off with Cody
And his shy, pretty wife.
and a shy pretty wife who smiles at him lovingly as he calls this the CSCC, the chicken shit chit chat.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. He's never called that before.
Who has the time to sit and come up with acronyms for longer names than one on one?
I know. To me, honestly, they get treated like kid gloves during these anyway. So I don't know why it's so bad for them.
I know
I
it's
think
such like a
Janelle
big
got
build
it.
up.
Janelle's been getting it a little worse this time around than them, for
She
sure.
has, and she got a little, last season she was really friendly with Suki. Like she was excited to see her and wanted to catch her up on her life and all this stuff. And now she seems a little bit more cold with Suki, especially because, obviously she's kind of in the hot seat on the backdoor deal situation.
Yes.
So yeah, so we see everybody kind of getting prepared. Cody like threw his entire closet essentially into the back seat of this car. I don't know why. He said didn't pick out his outfit yet, but it's like at least come up with 3 or 4 options. This man had, what do you think, like 10? I don't think that's an
10 of the
exaggeration.
10 of the same thing. I mean, he's been wearing
Like
the same
2
variation
suit
of
jackets.
yeah, he's been wearing the same variation of this outfit for the last like 5 episodes going and doing his.
That's such a good
I'm
point. They're
sorry.
all dark long sleeve suit jackets. Like at least just pick 3 to choose from
With a necklace.
with a necklace. That's what he should have been bringing buckets of as a choices of necklace.
That's probably in there.
They're probably in all the pockets.
The pocket.
Matching necklaces.
Yeah.
So we also see Meri and Jen do a little pre-interview, and that's where we, I guess, learn kind of officially that Jen is coming. And Meri's really excited about all of it. And Jen is she comes across as like a caged bull ready to come out. She's just like, well, I just want to say everything, but you would get angry. Like,
She's been
yes,
waiting for this
exactly.
moment. Yes.
She really has been, and she deserves her seat at the table. Jen was madder for Meri than Meri. Agreed. I'm not going to say great pictures of it, but I have a pretty good picture of when all of that went down. And I just think that was a show of true friendship between both of those women. So yeah,
Right.
I think, and I do think Meri does have to be careful. I mean, she has every right to be angry. She should express that. But I think she did in her own way, I guess.
She did by saying she couldn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know why she couldn't, because it's not like she did that, what is it, the NDA? So.
Right. Yeah.
Don't silence me, but I will silence myself.
I shall be silenced.
Only under my terms.
So welcome back, Joe, too. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, they chit chat a little bit about just them coming and what they might be prepared and not prepared to say. And then we do kind of cut quickly. We're gonna hop back to them in just a second, but we cut quickly over to Christine and David,
and
there's
their matching t-shirts.
And their matching t-shirts. They also just made like a social media post in those same t-shirts, and they said that ironically, I don't know if this is true or not, but they were wearing the same t-shirts on the day that the episode was aired.
I'm sure that they're always wearing the same t-shirt.
Aren't they just the cutest little couple?
They're still in that honeymoon phase, but yeah, apparently they thought it was a good idea to take like the loudest car that they owned, so they couldn't talk the entire way. And then they're like, part way through, oh, this
Yeah,
probably
they like get out of their subdivision.
Yeah, they're like, this probably ain't a good idea. It's like, good thing
Duh.
y'all decided that within the first 2 minutes of riding in it.
Part of me felt like that whole thing was just produced, like a thing for them to do while they talk about all of this. But I don't know. That whole thing was weird and strange. But yes, they switched cars. They got back into the truck. They're both feeling like neutral to positive about going on this. Christine said that usually she hates doing these kinds of things, but this year she feels like she's ready. David just wants to talk more and wants Christine to sit back.
Yeah, he wants actions. Words suck.
Yes, yeah, I know. Well, you always have echoed that too about apologies. I think you said that your mom said that to you, and yeah, that's why I took this specific picture too, because he's sort of echoing that same thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully they didn't pack it. I mean, it looks like they put at least a suitcase in there, but I was thinking the same thing too when I watched that. I'm like, man, the treachery of putting all your stuff in this stupid 4x4 or whatever the heck it's called, side by side, and then having to lug it all back. And it seems like they just hopped right in the truck. Like they packed the truck, they pretended to pack the side by side, they took a little drive for funsies, and then they came back to leave.
Yep. So
that's my theory. I don't know.
At least they only wasted a little bit of our time.
Right. So back to Meri, where she lets Jen know that she has not talked to Cody since the whole apology thing went on, but Cody did recently call her to give her another apology, and Jen was really curious about what the hell. And then she proceeds to tell her about the whole backdoor deal situation that Cody called Meri to tell on himself about a deal that didn't go through. And
after he said that the only way she's going to find out is if Janelle says something. And I'm like,
exactly.
Okay, like there's not a whole TV show here that she's going to find out because of that, but whatever.
Right. And I think Cody, his small brain finally reached that conclusion, and he realized, hey, I should probably do this before the tell-all so that I don't come across as the villain. And Jen clocked that right away. She's like, why in the hell would he call you to apologize for something he didn't even do?
Do you think that Robin was part of that? Like, you should tell her because she's going to find out, and then she's going to be mad at us and not.
I think Robin is one of the only people that he would listen to that, either Robin or that friend that he had that scene with in Las Vegas right after he met with Christine. I know that friend was asking a lot of questions and maybe that just wasn't on the scene that we saw. Maybe he was like, this is on TV. Like we're filming a show. If you forgot, it's your show. You're kind of supposed to be the star of it. So I don't know. Either somebody had to have told him. It definitely could have been Robin because I know Robin, it was definitely Robin. Yeah. I have a tendency to want to, give people the benefit of the doubt. But no, I think Padawan, you're probably right. It's more likely Robin than it was anybody else in the world.
It feels Robin coded, that's for sure.
Oh, very much so. It's manipulative. So
especially the rest of like what we see the tell-all might become. I just feel like Cody did not probably even think about telling Meri,
I think this is going to be a very Robin-centered tell-all, which is actually surprising. And she seems kind of responsive, too, to everything that's going on. So, no, we might see some Robin playing.
Yeah.
But so we get over to Janelle, and I mean, Maddie essentially just drops her off on her front porch, and she's like, bye, Mom. Can't wait to have no cameras in the house for a couple of days.
Honestly, she's just excited for peace.
Yes. The less conversation with Meri, the better for Cody. Sorry if you guys, can you hear the microwave going?
Not really. Okay.
All right. My husband's hungry. But yes, the less conversation with Meri, definitely the better for Cody. Padawan,
which is why I think it's Robin coded. So I agree. Yeah.
Totally.
Like he's not trying to talk to that lady. He even said in the tell-all, I ain't on her side.
Right. Right.
I don't care what he gets.
Yes. So Janelle wants to be, sarcastic. That's kind of how she approaches this stuff, with some humor and some sarcasm. So she says that this is her favorite time of the year, that she's, looking forward to this, says nobody ever. And then she also brings up the 12-step program sarcasm again, because obviously this must be the third or fourth time. She's going on this 12-step tour like Cody's going on this ex-wives tour. She's told everybody.
It's her way of making it make sense, I guess.
I suppose, but it's not very plausible, and obviously it's not true. So she also brings up the fact that she's aware that Cody has been spreading this rumor around about her.
Which means the 12-step thing ain't working.
She does not. Oh, okay. Everything just went weird for a minute.
Yeah, sorry. I'm telling y'all we have technical issues right now. But yeah, I mean, that means that the 12-step thing is not working for him if he's spreading rumors still. But
exactly, yes. So we get to the place, which, I mean, they did an aerial view of this place. It looked like a fortress.
That's why Cody was so impressed by the door.
It was a rather large door.
He's like, oh, wow, look at this door.
How come we only get Cody's entrance and nobody else's entrance? I'd rather see Christine walk into there with all of her dramatics.
I don't know. To me, I don't care to see any of them really walk in. I want to get to the nitty-gritty of things instead of dicking around like Suki always likes to do.
Oh, you mean you don't care to know what all of their hidden talents are?
No, most of them weren't hidden or talents. Like Meri's was just condescending. Like
I couldn't tell if she was serious or not. Like, does the woman juggle items or only personalities? I still can't tell.
Personalities, and she's come up with 6 or 7 personalities. So I don't know if she's got ghosts in there with her, but like there's only like 4 other people.
She does live with ghosts.
She's she's got Jen, Christine, Janelle, Robin, Cody, maybe. Like she don't know about David being, David's not a personality. She's got a struggle or a juggle. Right. So I don't know. It seems as if Meri was just being weird and condescending. Now this is the one I was waiting for, because I can't believe Robin said this was her hidden talent, is that she used to break dance a little bit when and her idea of breakdancing is doing crazy things on the ground. Crazy things on the ground. Like,
I know. I know. And the fact that Suki was like, so you're a B-girl? Like, Robin doesn't know what a B-girl is.
Or a
Stop.
fly girl or something. No.
It's
Robin,
crazy she even knows what breakdancing is.
she doesn't. When they showed us the clip of her breakdancing, she wasn't even on the ground for most of it. She was just and singing the song. I wish they played the actual song she was dancing to instead of
Right.
this weird beat bop music. Like, I know she
It
ain't
was really
dancing.
weird.
It was like boop 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 boop. It reminded me very much of like SpongeBob.
Yes.
You know?
So anyways, we get past all of that stupid stuff. We bring Jen out to be Meri's support system. I mean, the whole beginning of this came across really weird to me. Like everybody was kind of being icy and sarcastic. Like I also couldn't tell about this handshake thing. Like there's not enough room. It has to be a football field and there's multiple really?
Yeah, it was just to be condescending. Honestly, I don't think anyone likes Suki.
I think you're right. I think they're over her and it's probably time,
They're like, bring me Andy Cohen.
Somebody, anybody else.
Like, this lady's just gonna give it. Like, I think that everyone knows that Suki doesn't have much of a backbone when it comes to Cody and Robin. Like, yeah, she might ask a question, but then she kind of backs off it and doesn't dive deeper into their answer or anything. She just kind of lets it go. And I'm like, girl, you are here to cause a stir. Like,
Yeah, they used to call these tell-alls, and they changed them back to one-on-ones because now we call them tell-nothings. And a part of that is Suki. Not all of it, but part of it is Suki. And I think the cast is getting sick of her. I mean, Janelle was the last one who thought they were BFFs, and this one is not as friendly with everybody. So,
well, all of them have already said what they needed to say. It's all regurgitated. The only people who need to speak for themselves or for anything is Cody and Robin, and they get treated with little kid gloves.
yeah.
So it's not entertaining. I mean, give me somebody problematic that doesn't, like Suki. I don't know her from anything else but this. What has she done? Is she
I think she used to be like a journalist, like a reporter.
she? I don't know.
I don't think she is anymore, but maybe she
Surprises
is.
me. Surprises me. I mean, what was she, like a cook or something before on HGTV? I don't know, but
Like a Rachel Ray?
something. I mean, I don't know where her credentials are for this. Haven't seen her do anything else but this.
No,
So
I
I'm
think
kind
she
of
was a
like,
reporter, but I'm not sure either. She
give
could have
me
been
someone with some grit. That's I'm always like
Yeah.
Andy Cohen. I mean, like he's got to be able to clear his schedule for like a day to do this.
Honestly. Well, and there's so many popular hosts these days now, and YouTubers and people who genuinely care about the show that I think Suki has run her course, definitely.
Yeah.
But anyways, so my dog's gonna make an appearance.
Yeah, and I know like her hands are a little bit tied with what she can ask, but that's why I think it's like, why have a reunion show if your hands are going to be tied about what you can ask and what you can dive into? I just think it's hoopla. But anyways, let's get back into it. So she decides that after all this talent shows and condescending crap that she wasted like 10 minutes of my time with, that she wants to talk about the land. So we're just going to get right into Coyote Pass and how Robin and Cody were ignored. I mean, the clips were just interesting.
Hysterical. They were hysterical. I think Meri and Jen, I'm actually surprised that they allowed Jen to be on the set because they do tend to have this laughing situation going on. But they did, and this is what they did right away. Now, they didn't continue to do that, which was good. They actually responded to all the questions. But it was funny, probably, to see all of this awkwardness happen at Coyote Pass, and Jen hadn't seen it yet. I have to go get my dog.
Honestly, to me, go ahead. Honestly, to me, I kind of was about Jen being there at first. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I don't mind her being there in general. But at first, I was kind of hoping she would ask Meri a couple of questions one-on-one. like you see with Christine, is she asks, like, I think there's a couple questions where you don't see David there, even though they didn't really introduce David being there. He just all of a sudden was there. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, I kind of wish that there was a few questions that Meri was asked before Jen sat down.
Agreed.
But, just to get her genuine reaction, because I think sometimes she's got more of a backbone when Jen is there. And I kind of want to see what she's going to actually say.
Right.
I want to see both versions. So I'm glad Jen was there, because there were times where Meri wouldn't really answer a question and then Jen would answer it. So
I agree. At the end of the day, I do think it was best. Especially when Meri got upset. So yeah, we get into Coyote Pass. That's essentially the way that we're going to start this. Obviously, eventually we're going to get into the apologies, but I think that's probably for the next couple of episodes.
probably.
So,
and the catfish for the 50th time.
Right. I do think that part of what was interesting was, Jen does have tidbits of information that obviously Meri told her that isn't in the production. And we weren't aware that they had to wait an hour.
No, I think we knew that because Janelle and Meri like greeted each other outside, and then they were like, well, it's been a while, so let's, sit in our cars. I don't really want to keep waiting out here. And then I think it said like an hour later.
You're right. Like time ticked by and they showed the sky and all of that. Actually,
yeah.
Yes. So, okay. So we did know that.
Yeah, but I think it was hilarious that when they were doing the clips, Meri was like, it was cold. It was cold outside.
Well, it looked cold.
There's no sign here other than like the weather was cold.
Right. Yes. And then we get into kind of like the girl games underlying theme that seems to be following throughout the majority of this episode.
Sure.
And nuance and submissive wives. So we kind of like get into all of this. He said, she said that Suki is responsible for fielding between all of these adults.
Yeah.
Yep. Foreboding comes up again.
Foreboding.
Now Jen is verboten. The children are verboten. Jen is verboten. And like I talked about before, verboten means forbidden by an authority figure. And to me, it makes me wonder about this damn NDA. Like, is there still some kind of NDA? Like, is there an authority, like a piece of paper that's saying that we're gagged on this situation? I mean, that would be a stretch, but like, why are you
no one would sign it?
Word?
No one would sign it. I don't think there is. I just think he doesn't want to deal with Meri. He doesn't want to call her later and try to turn more information into her about Janelle and have her be like, you said this about John.
He doesn't want to be murdered.
She can't murder you from states away.
I just think that
and since when do you care? You've been talking crap about Meri for like a whole decade.
For longer than that, even.
Honestly.
It's just wild. So Cody is the one playing girl games, especially with all his outfits. So true, Padawan. Like, claps all around. And Janelle ends up saying that at some point, kind of she sort of flips it back on him, or maybe even Suki like added to all of that eventually. But yeah, Cody totally is the one playing girl games. He's the biggest girl. He's got the most hair products, the most outfits. My husband's laughing at me.
He couldn't even decide what to wear. So yeah, that's a pretty girlish game.
I know. Meanwhile, you have Janelle, who has one suitcase. She says, I'm learning to pack light. She gets in her truck, her blue truck, ready for everything. It's just like, who is the girl here? Who's playing girl games? I don't know. Sounds to me like you are, Cody Brown.
You can't even make a decision on which blue jacket to wear today. They're all blue.
I know. They're all dark or navy or whatever.
Light blue, maybe a bluish gray. You get in there, but yeah. Anyway, so Robin gets brought up that she is the shy, pretty wife, which he said that to us in confessional as well. So I don't know why he's so brand new about this. He said, I got this wife. Her name is Robin. she won't let me do anything bad. I mean, he also said that. So
Agreed. And that's why I believe that he said that to Janelle about why Robin couldn't call Meri to get Meri involved in the deal.
yeah.
I believe he said the same exact thing. Like, well, I have this nice, pretty wife that won't let me backstab her. So we have to do this the right way, blah, blah, blah. I believe that there was obviously discussion about a deal to throw Meri under the bus and cut her out of the whole thing. But I don't believe that Janelle was the one leading the entire charge on that whole situation. I think
I think she
Cody,
just did what she said, which was like, I mean, yeah, you could do
yeah,
that.
and I think Cody just blew it up. I also believe Cody that it's not something he really considered because his shy, pretty wife would never allow it because she's a big boulder of a rock. But other than that, I mean, I don't think it was really a big. I don't think they moved forward in any way on that idea.
Well, I also don't think that Janelle was trying to cut Meri out completely. I just think she wanted the deal done. I think it was more like, yeah, you could do that, but you still have to pay us, like meaning pay Meri her equal share as well. Because otherwise, what was Janelle doing all last season and this season? Get a lawyer, know your best interests, like fight for yourself because I don't trust these people. Like, what would that all have been about if she was trying to cut Meri out as well? I don't think that was the case. I think Cody's kind of conniving for being like, oh, well, Janelle knows I would pay her, but we don't
Right.
have to pay Meri. And we only are paying Meri out of the kindness of our hearts. Homie, if she threw in money, she should be paid. Same
That
thing with
is
your house
insane.
with Robin. I mean, I just keep thinking about like, okay, when I was watching this episode, I don't know if this is the right time to insert this, but
That's fine.
I was thinking about how they could have, because I know Robin at some point is like, I wanted it for the family. It was so hard for me to let go because that was our dream when I married Cody. We were gonna live in Flagstaff. Like I don't know what one thing has to do with the other, but um, my thought about that is you lived next to Coyote Pass. Your house was worth like over $1 million. When Christine left, she didn't take over $1 million with her when she left from the sale of her home. You obviously got other wives' money in your home.
Yeah.
Instead of spending all that money to buy that house, she could have bought a smaller house or downsized or moved into Christine's house after Christine left. I don't know, but she could have done something different to where they could have broke ground on that property. They couldn't
Agreed.
break ground on that property because there was no money left after dividing it up into Robin's home and the sale of and the land. So, and then Janelle had to spend money on an RV. All that money could have been put into breaking ground on the property. So if you truly wanted to be out there, you would not have tied up all the assets and all of the money into your home. If you truly wanted to be out there, you would be scrapping to get by
I also
until
think
you
it's
break ground.
interesting though because Christine bought a home and so did Meri. And I also feel like some of that is by design. Like part of that is Cody's doing. Part of that is his poor money management that we've seen season after season after season. And I don't know how he reasonably thought that with the money that they had to sell the houses in Las Vegas, that they were going to both purchase homes in Flagstaff and break ground when there's no utilities out there. That was part of their major thing why they couldn't just start building houses because Janelle had, a blueprint and everything already set. There's
Yeah.
no water connection out there. There's no gas. They had to get all of that set up, and that costs obviously, a lot of money. So I don't know why Cody or Janelle or whoever was in charge of the money, right, really thought that that was even feasible for them to move out there, purchase at least 3 homes, let alone just one, for Robin. And then at the same time, start any kind of meaningful progress on
Right.
raw land, as Janelle
Well,
likes
and
to call.
especially Robin's home because no one else's home seemed that expensive, where they needed like other wives' money to put down payments on their homes.
Right.
Meri wasn't getting a dime from anybody else in the family. I mean,
No.
I don't know.
And
It's just
Mary didn't even get her child's college education paid for. And she
Yeah,
had one child.
right. Like he couldn't have helped the one child. But anyways, like the thing with this too is I just don't understand why they didn't just stay in Vegas until they could break ground on the property. Like
That's true. I agree with
made
that. I
no
think that would
sense.
have been their best bet. That would have kept their family intact and together. And then, they would have been in the same situations as far as housing. They just would have had to still figure out how to break ground. But at least, I don't know. I think Cody did such weird stuff with real estate. I mean, he had his own backdoor deals, I think.
Yeah, well, his backdoor deal was, Dayton was going to college in Arizona, so we got to follow him.
His backdoor deal was always with Robin from
Yep.
day one. Always has been, always will be. So to
Always.
hop back into kind of the flow of these things, we do talk to Robin a little bit. The move was never necessary. I mean, they shouldn't even have went there in the first place, but if they were so obsessed with that damn view and the mountains and the angels and everything, like you said, they certainly could have stayed in Las Vegas where their
Yeah.
family was
When they
anchored.
when they were talking about that, when they were like asking Christine and stuff, like, did you want to live on the property? And Christine's like, I mean, I did. The view was just beautiful. I'm like, you know what
That
I do?
was so funny.
You know what I do with a nice view? I take a fucking picture.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't need to
But I think
move there for a view.
I think she was making again like kind of a sarcastic point, right? Like we really thought that this mountain was going to heal our family. We weren't going to talk to each other. We weren't going to trust each
Right.
other. We're just going to come out here. We're going to sit on our porch and look at this mountain and become healed. And they really were seemed to be convinced of that when they were looking at land
Well,
and looking at the property.
well, Robin had that same view from her house, and this bitch ain't healed. So I don't
He is
think that was
unhealed, and Cody is unhealed as well. In fact, I
very
don't think
much.
any healing started until after they left that whole area of Coyote Pass. That was Cody's whole reason for needing to buy this multi-million-dollar house that they're in now next to the cinder toxins,
The toxic cinder.
the toxic cinder house.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Robin explains that girl games are psychological, that they happen, in high school and blah, blah, blah. And I don't even know what the hell she's talking about here. But Meri says that she was never playing a game when it comes to Coyote Pass, and she really doesn't know what girl games are. I don't know why Suki is insistent on asking everyone what girl games are and not asking anyone any kinds of other questions that we would
Right.
actually care to know. Like she's honing in on one thing that Cody said in one confessional.
She always does that. He'll say one thing and then they'll talk about it for 15 minutes. And I'm just like, sure, okay, maybe them talking a little bit about Robin and his girl games. I mean, what's your definition of girl games? I don't know. Cody talks crap about them all the time. And I'm
Exactly.
sure Robin plays her own girl games at home. She just doesn't get filmed about it. She just
Right.
gets filmed in her pantry. But
Robin wants to be Mary's protector, but won't call her. So true.
yeah,
It's like they blame that there's no trust between all of them, but at the end of the day, you guys are all making a deal, and the only one who really got a lawyer was Meri. So it's
well, and
like
Janelle had a lawyer.
she had one like on deck, yes, but she was still talking on behalf of herself. It seems like Meri put
Yeah.
a lawyer between Cody and herself for a
Hmm.
while at least.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yes.
So yeah, they say that they get more into this girl games crap, and Janelle rightfully calls out Cody's girl games, um, and he's been calling her things. I mean, shoot, we saw him call her the Teflon Queen again when we were watching the clips, and he was very upset. So I don't know. I feel like obviously there's like three sides to every story, and there's like the truth. Maybe Janelle did talk a little bit more about this Meri thing, but I don't think she was the one to like truly start the conversation, but could have been even just a suggestion by her and then he ran with it and she's like, okay, sure. But I don't think she ever wanted to cut Meri out of getting her fair share of the property.
Right. Yeah.
So
So Meri also lets us know, I feel like this is kind of hindsight. It seems like Meri probably was open to at least being friends with Janelle for a
mm,
while until she knew all of this backdoor type of situation because we saw them in some scenes together. I mean, I'm sure they were
Yeah.
produced and it's not like they probably would have chosen to hang out with each other, but they were friendly enough, just like Janelle and Christine are friendly enough. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of a hindsight view of her saying, I don't want to be a part of the ex-wives club. They don't share the same values as me. I mean, maybe there's some secret beef going on between Meri and Christine that we don't really know about. I know they don't
Well,
love each other, but
in
they are
Christine's book, she's
ex-wives.
mentioned a few things. So, I mean,
Right.
they did go to the Cafe El Divorce together.
They
So,
did. Yeah. Somebody gave us some more information on there too. I guess there's like a pop culture magazine that gives these awards out pretty frequently. So I mean, that was helpful to
a
know.
divorce award is given out through a magazine.
Oh, you didn't read the comment?
No, I didn't see it. I've been,
Oh,
busy.
yes, you have been busy. But yeah, so I think yeah, it's like I mean probably not as famous, but like a Teen Vogue type of magazine. Like people write in and um, I think like fill out surveys or
But
something. But
what's the
maybe they
context? Like, I like getting divorced at this cafe and filling out my paperwork, or
it
like,
was called like City something. So maybe we can look it up later. Here, I'm gonna go find it so that I can actually
I guess. So,
ask you.
um, speaking of divorce, they do ask Robin, as we were talking about, how she felt like she was betraying
City
the
Weekly.
family. And Robin's like, I just didn't want to let it go. Like, girl, you were betraying the family the moment you gave Cody his own office in your house. So I don't think by, holding on to some property for X amount of years. I mean, Cody even said at one point, Janelle just wanted the sale of it right now as is instead of holding on to it for 10 years and letting the
Right.
property double. 10 years?
Yeah, I
10
think Cody
years.
did want to sit on that as like a little bit of a nest egg. But yeah, Janelle needed a clean break, and because Cody's still so in love with Janelle, he had to obviously jump as quickly as possible. But I think you make a great point about her, treating Cody as her best customer and making sure to sort of stand out from the crowd. Isn't that betraying a plural family, wanting and really craving and needing to be the most prized wife and doing like I think Janelle really does know their dynamic very well. And I think Janelle should be trusted and believed when she says things about how Robin gives Cody power so that she can over influence her life. I understand what they're saying, that
For
they're
sure.
married and that it's normal to have influence and work with each other. But this
Mhm.
is different. This is like deep level manipulation. It's
Right. I
just
mean, the lady's still getting dolls, and he can't even text his 13 other children.
all of that.
I mean, what
All
is,
of
I'm sorry, like, I understand there are people collect things, but what does one middle aged woman need $1,500 for?
and journals and all
Journal
of these
has nothing to write about.
she doesn't even you're not even supposed to write in those junk journals. You're supposed to put things in them and she doesn't leave the damn house.
All she leaves the junk in her house. We saw her pantry. She's not cutting that stuff up and putting it in a journal. Is that
Mad.
why Meri had to send those t-shirts back so Robin can journal them?
Yes.
For God's sakes, honestly, I'm just
So Laura Jean left a comment in our last video and she said that award is from City Weekly. You can see at the top of the star that we showed the award. City Weekly is a magazine that gives out dumb unique awards to local restaurants all the time when they do their reviews.
okay. So dumb. So it's like
Dumb.
satire. Okay.
It's well, is satire is yeah, I mean the best place to be divorced.
I honestly think at home is the best place to be divorced. But it's the best place to be a lot of things to me.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. So
So Robin also wanted to be a big fan of the mountains being her home and Coyote Pass being her home. And they also kind of go around and they talk about like, did you ever have intentions to live on Coyote Pass? And shockingly, this is when Christine was a little bit sarcastic about the view and everything, but she's the only one who really outright says, like, I planned to live there, other than Robin, of course, but Robin never had any plans to live there. She just had hopes and dreams and wishes. But it seems like everyone else really planned to live there. Janelle had her little blueprints. She disagrees that Christine wanted to live there, but Christine herself says that she was ready to move out there and accept their future together.
Possible. I mean, hindsight's 2020. They only got as far as like wondering why the property was divided the way it was. And that's pretty much it. Like trying to figure out who's living in the trees, who's not living in the trees. Like that's all they did.
And they never even really properly divided up any of those sublots the way that they were talking about. So
right.
They really didn't even get that far.
Cody was trying to get his own house out of it. So it was just, they didn't get far at all. It was all just talk and imagination and views. Like Christine's like, I can't do it anymore. And Mary's like, look at the mountain. Look at the mountain.
That's one of my very favorite scenes of, the end, at least, is that exact thing. I mean, they're all sitting around in their damn, like outside chairs, just trying to figure out their life and who's going to live in the trees. And Christine just has an absolute meltdown. And this view is really supposed to just save everything. And for the moment, it does. He goes and sits back down.
Honestly.
Robin wants to be married. Oh, yes, we saw that.
Sorry, I hit the wrong one.
Oh, that's okay. Is there another?
Yeah.
Why didn't she ask Robin about her witchcraft? Oh, such a good damn question.
Honestly. These are good questions.
They even showed it in the flashback. They showed Robin in her freaking hat out there on Coyote Pass.
Yeah. And her incense and stuff. I mean, she says, I go out there sometimes and put out good vibes and burn some sage or something. Yeah.
I wonder if she was doing that when Janelle was living out there.
Oh, no. She can't be near another sister wife. That would make her uncomfortable.
It would. She's too shy. And pretty.
Literally, post-COVID, we only seen Robin around her sister wives like twice. And that was when she was getting broken up with.
Right.
Other than that, it was... Even in those Zoom calls, she wasn't saying anything. She couldn't even be her own advocate for money. She had to put her husband on the front line for their 50% share.
Yep. Yeah. Couldn't even hop on the call and just be present.
Couldn't even call Meri and warn her what was going on if she wanted to.
She's just going to rely on Cody's distorted ass to tell her the truth about what happened. Well, that's not going to go down. And then she wants to sit in these chairs on this tell-alls and all the confessionals and act like she actually knows what's going on when all she does is listen to what Cody tells her what's going on.
Right, and then watch the show back.
Yes.
And then she wants to act like she was protecting Meri by stonewalling Janelle and Cody. Like, I'm going to be a protector. I'll be a protector. That's a Beyonce song if y'all don't know.
Yes, y'all should know. But so then we get into actually talking, more directly, I guess, about these backdoor deals. And Cody says, he kind of was considering it until Robin really shoved her way in and said, I'm not going to sign anything. I'm going to be the rock or whatever she said. And Cody explains that he wanted to kind of oblige a little bit to the Teflon Queen because she was worried about the sale. And this is where Meri sees, I think for the first time, which last episode, I didn't think she was going to see it for the first time here, but I think she actually sees the footage for the first time of Meri's getting paid for my good graces. She doesn't deserve anything about Coyote Pass. We were going to do this backdoor deal and I would have just paid her whenever I felt ready to pay her. So we see all of this.
I don't remember that scene. Do you?
I don't either.
So is that just something TLC just like held on to till now?
Or
does anybody remember that scene? Because I did not remember that scene at all with Cody.
This
and that's
part,
something I would have been remembering.
Agreed, because I think we would have had a long conversation about that here on the Chick Chat as well. But both of this scene specifically, where he says, you know, she's getting paid for my good graces and then mentions everyone else's good graces. And then he says, like, also specifically the part where he says, I would have gotten the money and then dispersed it whenever I felt like it was convenient for me.
Yeah,
Because
which is
I remember hearing that watching this for the first time, like, excuse me? And this is supposed to be a flashback. I felt like I heard it for the first time.
Yeah, I don't know, because like his hair even looks weird here.
He does, yeah. I mean, it could
So
be
was
the
this
photo, but
reenacted or what?
is it AI? Are we getting into AI?
I don't
It's
know.
also fake and Meri. It's also fake to get Meri mad. Well, it did get Meri mad.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. So, I mean, look at this face of anger and rage here. And she says, I can't even respond to this. Whatever I say won't be aired on national television. That was kind of creepy.
I know.
I was freaked out. Maybe Cody's right about this whole murder fear.
You know, I don't think she's gonna travel that far to do it, but maybe if he showed up at, you know, the inn or something. The place is
Definitely
already
that.
haunted, so might as well. But
Definitely that.
yeah, her reaction was a little strange, which made me happy Jen was there so she could just be like, how effing dare they? How effing dare they think that, say that, you know, who, regardless of whose idea it was, even it come up in conversation. Honestly, I don't understand why they were so freaked out about losing the buyer. Like Cody said,
I think Janelle was.
Even her, like, I just don't understand how if she's so financially savvy and stuff. I mean, if somebody's willing to buy that land specifically, I don't think they're just going to let it go because they have to wait a little bit longer for Meri to get her name on a title.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know contracts in these real estate things, they do expire. And after that, you know, the person who wants to buy it is no longer obligated to have to go through with it or, you know, exchange any money if they back out or anything like that. But it's also very unlikely, like we've all talked about, and Cody, you know, mentioned that too, that with the land, like the land's not going to decrease in value. Maybe we'll lose the buyer. But I think that's kind of Janelle's point is like she I think had enough money to live, but with what they were trying to do with build, you know, 2 houses and have the farm and everything, I think she really did need that, you know, flexible cash flow
Sure,
immediately.
but I don't think it was like detrimental that they were going to lose the buyer in this situation. I just
I
think,
don't either, but it wasn't a guarantee. So I think Janelle was just in her head. She's the only one who really needed it at that time.
yeah.
Cody and Robin didn't need it. They were going to sell their house to pay for that other house, and then they could have sat and, you know, waited however long to pay it off.
Well, the only reason they ever, I mean, honestly, this was Cody's one attempt at trying to sell the land. If you think about it, before they were just sitting on it until they bought that house. Then they're like, okay, we need to get some of that back. So
Yeah.
let's sell the land. So I think eventually it was going to happen soon, regardless, because he was finally, I need the money now because we need to sell this, you know, to pay Paul. You know,
But that's kind of Janelle's point too, is it's like she also needed the money, but nothing matters until Cody and Robin need
yeah,
things.
for sure.
But yeah, this was the perfect moment of friendship that I really loved. Like when Jen can be so genuinely furious on behalf of Meri. And Meri too, like obviously she's putting on that creepy smile or whatever, but you can tell the look in her eye of like admiration to her friend for being so angry for her. I just
Saying
think,
what she can't say. Yeah.
yeah, I just think it was a beautiful moment between them, even though it was such a yucky situation.
Right. But
And here's the Teflon King, Cody. You know, oh, Janelle's misrepresenting herself. You know, I think that there could be a fair. I think actually Jen saw it as clearly as day. The fact that they were considering it, they both have enough blame to share. If it came up in conversation, which I believe it did, they both have enough blame, Cody and Janelle, to share. It should have never came up in conversation because it should have always been equal in the first place. And that's how it ended
yeah,
up.
I kind of wish Janelle in this tell all would have been like, listen, I mean, it wasn't my idea, but it wasn't the right thing to talk about or say. Like,
Agreed.
it wasn't a good move, and I'm sorry to Meri for that. That's not fair to her,
Right. Even if
regardless.
she didn't want to go as far as to apologize, she could have very much said, that just shouldn't have been brought up. Like,
Yeah,
no matter whose idea it was,
right. Yeah.
it shouldn't have been an option. And she does throw a little shade, throw a little blame to her attorneys and say that that's sort of where the idea came up. Okay, fair. And she says that she told Cody that that's what she was advised, but that she also wanted to move forward on, the thing that was fair
The
and make
titles.
the
Yeah.
deal that they wanted. So again, I don't think Janelle is completely innocent here, but I think Cody has very much tried his very best to manipulate the situation, to throw a narrative out there that this was all Janelle's doing and that Cody he considered it, but his shy, pretty wife saved the day. He just wants Robin to look so good all the time. And then to go as far as to act like he's still in love with Janelle and all that. This guy is completely deranged.
Very typical plural marriage situation. It's like, what was this, like a trip down memory lane for you? Like, you got to feel
That's what
like
he
you were in
said.
plural marriage again because people
Yeah.
were arguing and he was in the center. Like,
Right. And this right here tells me that Cody is lying. I mean, Janelle wouldn't call Meri. How many times did we see Janelle interact with Meri just fine? Maybe
yeah,
there was some time in the beginning where she wouldn't call him, but I just don't buy that. I don't buy that for a damn second.
well, I
Not
think,
if it's about getting the deal done.
right. I think his deal was like, she wouldn't call Meri, like, to interfere for him. And she did say that. She's like, I'm not going to play interference for you when it comes to
Right.
Meri. You're going to have to figure that out.
But then she ultimately did, right? When they got on the Zoom call and they played their stupid girl games. And she said, well, Cody wouldn't call you, and rolled her eyes about having to call
Well,
Meri right in front of her.
I'm sure that's not the first time that he needed, that. So that's
That's
probably
also
a
true.
different thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he said to her many times, like, well, you call Meri and you tell her about the titles. Because I can't even send her an email back.
Which is so true. It is.
Because she's like, well, I emailed him and he didn't respond. Like, an email, Cody, you can't type a couple words. Like, yeah, we're working on the titles. Don't worry.
Yeah. Apparently Janelle said that she had already paid, for the titles to be transferred and all of that. And, eventually we'll get to the end of the episode where there's the holdup there and we actually find out why the deal expired, why the contract initially expired. But before this, we do get kind of Janelle's side of the story where she says that essentially Cody was advocating to Janelle that Meri has no standing on this property, which is true, and that all of this is out of his good graces and he has this shy, pretty wife. Like, we've heard all of these things from Cody before in confessionals, which is why I'm just more inclined to believe Janelle than I am Cody, even though I'm not saying that Janelle is innocent, because she did obviously participate in a conversation about a deal like this and went as far as to talk to her lawyer about it as well. So I think that is still pretty damn shady. And that's where Jen and Meri kind of land on the situation too. She's like, I don't really know who to believe, but somebody somehow was trying to kick me out of this deal, and that just was not okay. And duh.
Right.
Obvious.
I think honestly, like, they really harped on this part, and I'm like, all right, let's get into this NDA instead. I'm more curious about that because we've been hearing about the backdoor deal for episodes now.
Yes, but I was happy to get a little bit of clarity. I mean, not obviously all the way clarity, but a little bit more clarity as to like what was said and how it came across, because I think they do share responsibility, Cody and Janelle, for bringing that up. But
Yeah.
ultimately, based on what Janelle said with the explanation she gave about Cody, I'm more inclined to believe Cody considered that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were kind of both wrong. I was pretty disappointed when I
Totally.
originally heard that too with Janelle. I was like, damn, Janelle.
I know. And Cody kind of had a little tiny bit of a point of like, I was never working with Meri, so I wasn't backstabbing Meri. It was very clear we were talking through lawyers. Janelle, on the other hand, was visiting her house on a monthly basis saying, I'm going to advocate for you. We have to make this deal together. We're going to work as a team. And then on the other hand, listening to her lawyer's advice, even if that's what it was, of talking to Cody outside of Meri
Yeah.
about this.
I wish Janelle just would have been like, wasn't my best move,
Yes.
even if I brought it up or whatever was said, wasn't fair to Meri, and hopefully we can move forward.
Right. And David
Yeah,
also clocks the ego of Cody when
of
he
course.
hears that what we think might have been a deleted scene about, well, I'll just give her the money whenever I feel like it's convenient and sell it out from underneath her. I'll give her whatever amount of money I think is fair too, because obviously at that point she wouldn't have been entitled to nothing.
Yep, and I just feel so bad for Meri that she didn't take you to the cleaners with that legal divorce, man. I would just be having so many regrets if I was Meri. I go
I
back to
know.
2014 and be like, listen, Meri, we got to take this man to the cleaners. Half of everything is ours.
I know. Well, and even when she did leave, Cody has all these suspicions and conspiracy theories about how Jen was involved that apparently we'll see, next episode. But
Yeah,
yeah, right. It took Meri a whole 10 years to leave. You think if her friend was forcing her to leave and all of that, that it would have taken her that long?
you're right.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I can't wait till we get into the catfish crap, but it'll probably be the last of the tell-all.
Yeah, I
It
think so.
actually seems like it's enough to get everyone riled up, so I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see that too. I know it's dredging up the past a little bit, but maybe with some time passed in hindsight, we might get some more information there, hopefully.
I
So
mean, at this point, the present's giving me nothing.
nothing.
So,
But we do hear a little about these confidentiality agreements. They finally come up, and we learn that that is ultimately why this contract was expired in the first place with the buyers, the original buyers, and the actual buyers, who all turned out to be, I think, the same people. But I would not be surprised if the buyers wanted a confidentiality agreement, but why Cody and Robin in particular, apparently came and presented a completed document for them to sign about a confidentiality agreement, which sounds to all of us like an NDA, and that's where the last question lands. But I think that is so bizarre and strange. Why do they need an NDA? They're on a damn reality television show. They're exchanging public property. What is so secret about this?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It made me very upset. And so that is why Meri says she was holding the whole thing up. Because I was sort of not siding with Cody, but I could at least see where he was coming from when he was like, look, legally, Meri is not entitled to more than a third of one of these pieces of property. We're trying to work with her and get her on all of this property. And yet she's the one that's holding up the whole situation. But when we
Right.
learn that she was presented with a confidentiality agreement, that makes complete sense why she would be the stick in the mud and say, I'm not signing anything. And again, he's trying to present Robin as like the shining star when really it's Meri. Meri has always been the shining star. Meri started this damn family. Meri is the one who wouldn't sign a confidentiality agreement. What I was disappointed in, though, is because Meri was like, there, I said it. I'm not going to be silenced. And that made me so sad because she's been dangling on social media for 2 years now. Like, I won't be silenced. Wait and see what I have to say. And it seems like all
And
she has to say is that she was asked to sign an NDA and she didn't.
she silenced herself.
Gobblewalkie.
I think Jabberwocky.
Oh, Jabberwocky, like the breakdance. Jabberwocky.
Jabberwocky Robin wanted to silence everyone.
I'm dead right now. Oh my God. Yes.
I have not heard that in a long time.
But yeah, me neither. Man, I think I actually watched that show when it came out.
Was it a show? I thought it was like a So You Think You Can Dance or whatever. It wasn't that.
Yeah, it was a show. They were
Okay.
on. I don't know if they won, but they were like contestants.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think they
Yeah,
did
and
win.
they
They were
were
everywhere for a minute.
they were very popular.
Yeah, but maybe Robin was part of it. I think that's where they got their inspo. Jabberwocky Robin.
That is so funny.
The best. It's like, now that should get an award at that People magazine, whatever thing.
It
That
should. They
best
yeah, something weekly. I keep forgetting it, but
comment of the year. As usual, Days.
I know. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming by.
I think it's crazy that Robin's the one that came up with this contract, according to Janelle. You know, like she showed up with this contract. Like, yeah, I'm not moving forward until we all sign this. I don't know. Like, Robin's going to spin it as, I just wanted everybody to stop talking about each other and, you know, not be mean and blah, blah, blah.
Then
But
get off of the television show and stop making money from people talking about each other. Then do that. How do you operate a television show when everybody has an NDA?
you can't.
And if it was strictly an NDA about the property and the exchange of money, and they wanted to keep things weirdly private about their finances, you know, why?
Well, and what else are they going to film about? I mean, like, you're just
Right.
ruining your own storyline. I mean,
I
the
think
only
Meri
thing
just really didn't want people to know the actual dollars and cents and numbers, which we all know because it's a public disclosure. We saw how much the house, you know, sold for. We saw how much they purchased their house for. We saw how much they sold the land for. And I think she didn't want people to know that this is how this woman actually made out. Like we have everyone else here waiting on money so that they can move forward. Yet Robin has a surpluses of like hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not up to $1 million. She's got dolls, she's got journals, she's got 17 garages stacked full of effing bins full of stuff. Like, I think she just didn't want people to know exactly how good she has scammed this family.
I mean, yeah, I mean, just one look in her house and, you know, the fact they can even fill up that house with crap that they bought.
The
And they
fact
have
they
all
can
those
fill up 3
bins.
garages with tote bins full. I mean, just the bins themselves, those
The
bins.
expensive bins.
That's what I was just saying. Just those bins cost like however what $20 for like 4 of them or whatever. I mean, and they must have
One, probably.
they're like
One bin is like $20.
pretty much, yeah.
One or more. I've seen like those things go for like $40 for like a big tough box bin.
Yeah, I have some expensive bins downstairs, not those like tough ones that are really common, but yeah, I mean, I think those are like between $8 and $20 depending on how, you know, the shape and size. Like, yeah, it's just wild. The amount of money that Robin Brown has siphoned from all 4 of these adults is just impressive. It's impressive.
Honestly. And I mean, Dean's got a couple of those bins, but he bought them before me. So I mean, he won't buy no bins after me.
We have
like
quite
that.
a few of them with the yellow tops, not the red tops, with the same exact bins. And we took them from his parents' house. I mean, we didn't buy those. We've been broke till a couple years ago, man. Now we're just getting by.
The clear ones are expensive these days.
Oh, I
They're
love
like
those.
$10 for one of
I
those.
get like the frosted clear ones, and I literally ask for those. I ask for my birthday and for Christmas from my mom and grandma, and they each get me like 1 or 2 bins. And that's what I've been doing for the last like 4 years to acquire all the same bins because I don't want to pay for those things. They're so expensive.
They're very expensive.
Yeah, my grandma's always like, "You're the only kid who asks for storage bins and vacuum cleaners." Like, well, I don't want to buy that stuff.
Realistic.
Yeah. They could have broken ground on the land if they sold some of them bins. Yes,
Facts.
just the
And
bins.
dolls and portraits and, you know, weird
Yeah, we didn't
sculpture.
even touch the art, right? The investments that Cody makes in his art. Yeah, gosh.
And the sculptures, like the weird living room sculptures that were like oddly placed everywhere.
Yeah.
So
So this is the first of 4. I was able to finally confirm that when I finally saw an actual commercial for this thing. So there is going to be 4 total one-on-ones. They gave us a preview for the very next one, and Robin wants to go on a little bit more about how Janelle got caught in her backdoor deal. Meri's going to talk about how it would have been disrespectful for Robin to tell her about the backdoor deal. There was no trust between the two of them. So we're going to freaking talk more about this, unfortunately. We're also going to talk a little bit more about at least Christine's apology. I imagine they're going to take it like apology by apology, and maybe we'll even see some of the ex-wives' reactions to some of the other apologies and seeing what Cody said to them, because those things were all very different. So I would be interested to see that. Looks like we might start off with Christine's apology, where David accuses Cody of breaking bro code because of the love apology.
Oh yeah, I don't even think that's honestly like I agree with David on a lot of things, but I don't think that that's really bro code. It would be if he was like, "I still love you,"
or if they were alone. Christine and Cody
sure.
were alone, and he said, "Yeah, I still love you," and
But like that whole "I never loved them" was a big deal on the show, so I think
it was a big deal, and yes, and I do think, that there is a platonic way now for Cody to say, I shouldn't have said that, and I apologize if that caused you any pain. It's like, I don't think by him saying, I'm sorry I said that means or implies I'm still in love with you. None of it will matter if the kids aren't mentioned. Such facts coming from Days over here. None of it.
Just like the apologies didn't matter because
Exactly.
it was just for Cody's own ego and for him to feel better about effing everybody over, and he didn't want to bring up the kids. The kids were forbidden. Just
Mm-hmm.
use the word forbidden. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like forbidden with a V and a weird accent, but it is a real stupid word.
Yeah, whatever.
And then we're also gonna see Cody's gonna kind of accuse Jen of a couple of things, like asking Meri to take the money and run, and telling Meri to get out of the marriage and all of that. I mean, none of those things happened, so I doubt that she did that outside of maybe some sarcasm, like a friend would say.
What money? Her own money? Take your own money and run?
Yeah, sell your own home and leave, like Christine did.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference there? And honestly, at that point, Meri was paying for her own things, her own mortgage. Like, what makes you think that you're entitled to Meri's money when she leaves?
Agreed.
In fact, she's entitled to 50% of everything when she was getting the divorce. So she could have took 2 of your wives with it. One of them. One and a half.
1.5 wives, couple of homes, some art,
some children,
couple kids at least, 4 to 6.
I mean, yeah, there was about at least 13 born to her during that whole spiel.
All right. Well, that is where they leave us. So, unless anyone has any final words, last comments, that's where we shall leave you.
Yes. What did you think about this part 1 of the Tell Nothing?
I was happy to hear as much clarity as we could get on the backdoor deal, even though I have a sense I'm going to get annoyed with it. I've already formed my opinion now that I've heard what Janelle has to say, so I just don't want to hear any more about it.
Me too. I hope they move off of the land and get on to other things at this point. I mean,
yeah, I think
if this is going to be the last, then I want to hear everything.
Yes. I do think it's time to start moving on to the apologies. I think, like Day said, if Suki doesn't ask about why the kids weren't brought up, I know it's verboten, but she has to at least try. Then she's trash officially in the dumpster. We're done with that as a host.
Yeah.
So who knows? I really hope that happens. I'm disappointed in the trailer for the next one-on-one. I'm not excited really about anything other than getting into Christine's apology and hearing other people's responses to that. And we might not even get very much of that. We might just get their stupid pictures in the bottom corner, like making faces, and then it'll probably be mostly Christine and David and Cody.
Sure. And whatever. I mean, I wonder how many of these there are. Also,
There's 4.
if this is the end of the road, I mean, let's bring it all up. That's why I'm like fine with the catfish thing. I mean, shoot, 10 years later, and I'm still confused at what the hell happened. So
I know, me too. So I think that will definitely come in number 3 or 4. My sense is because of what production likes to do, it will come right at the end of 3 and cliffhanger us into the
I'm
final.
freaking excited to see Robin get brought into that because that's been a theory for a long time.
Well, and she seems responsive in it too. Like usually she shuts down and she's like, whatever, and doesn't talk, but it seems like she's
She was
defending her.
talking about flowers and compliments.
Dave says, imagine Meri repoing Robin's dolls. Then
Man, that lady wouldn't have let those things go without kicking and screaming.
yeah, if anyone has a good Chat GPT subscription, maybe get us a video of that so we can all laugh next week.
Yeah, Meri coming in to take the dolls in Vegas. And some of Robin's greenery, like the only lady with a damn backyard or a sprinkler system, go take one of her sprinklers.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But anyways,
So true.
thank y'all for joining us. It is time we move on with the day. But
yes,
remember to like, subscribe, share the video. Also, meet us back here next week. And I don't know, like we've been watching. What did we start watching?
becoming Amish or suddenly Amish.
Yeah. Let us know if y'all want to hear us talk about that because that's actually kind of funny.
That show is hilarious. If you haven't gotten into it, fair warning, it is a little bit of a slow start, but once they get onto that Amish farm, man, it's on and popping. Like I was mouth on the ground a couple of times. Hysterical, shocked, laughing. I mean, the whole thing. So yeah, I might be interested in talking with you guys about that if you guys are watching it. So let us know.
Especially since, Sister Wives is coming to a close here.
Yes,
For
and
at
this would
least
be
the
a fun
season.
show, I think, to cover, a little bit lighter, probably, although the Amish are quite heavy on the patriarchy, so you might see me crash out a couple times.
Well, so was Cody. So
True, that is true, yeah. You said Daisy saw a commercial. I would recommend because I would love to hear your commentary as well, Days, while we get into
honestly,
this.
only one episode is out. So there's
Mhm.
that. I've also been watching the new Fear Factor with Johnny Knoxville. I don't know if
Oh,
it's enough
me
to
too.
cover,
Me and
but
my
it is
husband have been watching that. We've also been watching the new Traders.
yes. I actually want to apply for traders because I think that'd be
Yeah.
fun. Everyone
Yeah.
should apply.
Everyone should apply. And I told my husband to apply. I don't think I'd be as good. I'm such a terrible liar and such an anxious basket case, but my husband would be good at it.
I would be great, but not really so much. But my ideal on traders would be to start as a faithful and then be converted to a trader later on.
Yeah, that would be
I wouldn't want to start as a trader, I don't think, because I would want to be more genuine in my building of connections.
right. Yeah, I would have to be a faithful the whole time if I could ever.
Yeah. But I would at least like to start as a faithful and then maybe get recruited later.
Yeah. That makes sense. But yeah, we're watching all those things. I don't think we'll cover all of those things, but maybe we'll chat about them here and there at the end of our videos and stuff. Because I actually think this season of Traders, man, I was so sad. Spoiler alert's coming, I guess, if you haven't seen all 3. So just turn the volume down or something. But
Harley, if
yeah, have you seen all 3, Anne?
Yeah.
Okay. I was sad when Mama Kelsey got accused, but I knew she was the secret traitor. I just felt it in my soul. And Tyler, my husband, was convinced that she wasn't. So convinced that he's scrolling on his phone when she gets up to say if she was a traitor or not. And I'm holding his hand, gripping him. I'm like, this is gripping television. He's like, why are you so freaking out? That she's just gonna say that she's a faithful. And then she said, you got one or whatever. And he was literally through his phone. He's like, what? And I said, I knew it. But I was sad to see her go. She's so cute.
Yeah, I was hoping that if she was the secret traitor, that she was still gonna be there, or they'll get a new secret traitor or something. But
yeah,
I don't know. I wasn't sure. either way. If it was her, I was like, well, it could go either way. I mean, she really isn't talking to anybody about strategy, like, you know, game plan or anything. So I can see why they lean towards her, especially after what happened in season 1 with Cherie. Like, you can't trust the little,
I know.
you know, do-gooders. So, anyways, thank y'all for joining us. I think it's time. But if we do cover one of those shows, it'll probably be the Amish.
It will most likely be Suddenly Amish. And that'll be a fun light one for us to cover. But yeah, maybe we'll catch up with each other on Traitors and Fear Factor and all of that. I don't know how I feel about Fear Factor. It really made my
I
stomach
just like
hurt.
watching it. It's kind of
I like that they have a house, you know, that it's sort of challenge meets Fear Factor. So I'll watch it for sure. But I can't watch that squeamishy stuff. But okay, well, please do not forget to like our video, comment, let us know what you're watching. Let us know if you want us to cover Suddenly Amish if you are watching it. And we will see you all next week to cover part 2 of the 4-part Talk Back One-on-One, Look Back, Tell Nothing.
Something. All right. Well, thank y'all for joining. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.